Hello everyone, welcome back to All the Mods 8 Survival Multiplayer. Again, not quite multiplayer because it's like middle of the day again, unfortunately. But anyway, right, today what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the opposite of what I did last episode. So I'm going to talk about what's happening with the server at the end of the video, because that makes sense, right? That way those people that aren't on the server and they just want to watch like what we've been up to can do that. Makes sense, in my opinion. So, right, anyway, today we're going to try and set up an SPS. Just makes sense, doesn't it? So, first things first, I need to upgrade this drawer before I do anything. So, let's do that. Have I got any upgrades? Upgrade. I got absolutely destroyed by, well, I didn't get destroyed, but I got attacked by loads of zombies and stuff. Like, look, there's a spider right there and everything. So I did put down some dread lamps. That's why you're seeing that there. Okay, what is... So we got the void upgrades. Let's... Copper. Let's make a few of these. 1, 2, 3, 4. Done. So that should be making us some more lithium. I think by now we could probably make one of these induction providers. And how many do we need? We need 2 per one of these, so we need 6 altogether. That was it. So we could maybe make 6. We're out of osmium and coal. Okie dokie. We could make a seed for osmium. Oh, that's a point. Osmium. I've got a bunch of this raw stuff. You know what we could do? If I pop to the router. Hello, Vanius. If we go underneath like this, I could stick raw osmium in here and it will get 6x'd. Oh my goodness. This guy is not very quick, is he? Alright, let's grab all of this out. Okay, at this point, should I just smelt all of this? Because that probably means that we've got like a lot of all the modium. 85k is not bad. Unobtainium. 23k, not bad. And we got 3,000 right there. Right, anyway, I'll put these in. Oh, Banius, could you not, mate? You're in the way. Okay, I'll get all of the osmium and I'll put it in that chest. Osmium. Let's get rid of all of that. Stick these in. Just like that. I think what I'll do is, can I set this, export the first item into the network, then try the next ones. Round robin mode. Probably round robin, I think, is what we need to put in. Okay, fingers crossed it goes... Oh, flipping heck. There. And then... Gib. There you go. That should be getting us... Oh, if you got that now... okay, I'm gonna just disable this. There's no, like, redstone option on this. That's a bit weird. Is that an upgrade? Is that a card that you put in? Redstone card. That'll be it. Okay, let's make a redstone card real quick. Redstone card. Swap that one out. Always active. Active with a signal is what we want to put. And then what we can do is we can grab everything that's not osmium out of here. What have you got right there? Is that osmium? Yeah, sweet. So we grab everything that's not osmium and then we can come back later and turn that on when all the osmium's gone through. Flipping it. We should probably make the seed for it. Like, in here. Make the seed and then do the old... Yeah, do all of this. I've probably got enough now. Enough emeralds, I hope, to do the thing. But anyway. Right, now that that's dealt with, what do we do next? We were going to set up an SPS. So let me get rid of like a bunch of this stuff right here, SPS. So if we bookmark these things, we are going to need some polonium, we're going to need some HDPE, and we're going to need some plutonium. And to get plutonium, we do need a pressurized reaction chamber, and we need some plutonium, obviously. And for that, we need the isotropic centrifuge with nuclear waste, which we can get relatively easily. So we are going to need a chemical oxidizer to turn the wasted radioactive combs that we have access to. I do have a little tutorial on this. I should really make like a separate tutorial just on how to make radioactive combs. And like take you through all the steps. I'll do that another time. Anyway, so we need that for the nuclear waste. What is it for polonium? So polonium is one of these solar neutron activators. So there's quite a lot of gubbins that we need to get through, plus the HDPE, which comes from oxygen and liquid ethylene in a pressurized reaction chamber. We've already got that right here. So we could do that. How do you get the liquid? Okay, you need to concentrate. And then it's just water and hydrogen with biofuel to get the substrate and the ethylene. Gotcha. So what's the ratio right here? So it's 50 millibuckets of ethylene, 10 oxygen, 1 substrate. And then what is it to get the... Okay, you get 100 out of that. So we should get more ethylene than we can use, which we can pump into some gas burning generators, for example. We're not going to do that because we've got infinite power, but I basically got the setup over here already. This is making us some ethylene and all of that. I set this up really early on because ethylene is really good in a gas burning generator. It gives you a redonkulous amount of power. So yeah, let's crack in. I think the first thing we're going to have to do, I'm going to do the HDPE first, I think, and then we'll get into making the polonium and plutonium pellets. And then we might set up the SPS this episode. I'm not sure. Depends how long the episode is, I suppose. So let's get rid of that and let's start making stuff. So pressurized reaction chamber. We are going to need a electrolytic separator as well. So let's start with that. Okay, I need some iron dust as well. So iron. Let's grab the hammer. That'll do us. Probably only need 1 electrolytic separator. Why is it not letting me do that? Oh, do I not have any alloys? Okay, there we go. Nice. So 1 of these. We are going to set that here. I might do the thing that I've been doing recently, which is I did it in my single player right at the end of the season. So I'm going to make some quantum entangler-porters. Quantum... Is that how you spell them? How do you spell entangler-porter? Yeah, I'm going to make some of these, I think. I don't have the teleport core. Okay, let's make, I don't know, a few teleport cores, why not? And the rest of it, why does it say I don't have atomic alloys? Did I accidentally move that recipe? Yeah, it's right there. Why are you not connected? Did I forget to connect you up? No, you should be all connected up, you weirdo. What are you doing? I don't know why that's happening. Atomic alloys. Oh, it says that I can make them. Oh, it's because I've already got them. I've already got 30-ish. Got ya. So, entangler porter. These ones. I'm actually going to make the recipe for this because we should be using this quite a lot. So let's do the entangler porter, but we also need the teleport core. We can stick that in here. I didn't put all of the... Yeah, there we go. I didn't put all of the acceleration cards yet. I'm not sure I'm going to do that, if I'm honest, but it's fine. Right, anyway, we can make a... What is it saying that we don't have any? Or we can't make them? Entangler port. Okay, there we go. Let's make, I don't know, 8. Go. Cool. That's going to go off and make us 8. Oh, it just realised that it's got muffling upgrades. Excellent. Right, anyway, I'm going to be back when we've got those entangler porters. Which one's the one? Is it compressing that I didn't put muffling upgrades? I only put speed in. Brilliant. Right, I'll put some upgrades in this and then we'll be back in a sec. This is what I meant by entangler porters. So one either side of the electrolytic separator. I did just put, oh, wrong one, this one, all the upgrades in it. I don't believe you can like make a factory out of this. I don't think that's a thing. So, but anyway, I've got 2 quantum entangler porters, one on each side. I will show you the configs because people really seem to want me to show the configs, so I'll show those off. First off, turn off all the item ones on the electrolytic separator. You don't need to put items in it, right? Fluid, you just leave it on except from all sides. Power again, except from all sides. It's the gases one that you need to worry about. So blue is hydrogen and cyan is oxygen. Blue, hydrogen, cyan, oxygen. I'm actually going to try and like remember that for the next time I try and set up some mechanism stuff because I always forget which one's which. So in this case, blue is going to be exported out this side. So this is the hydrogen one. I have set this up as private because there's a lot of stuff in public and I don't want to mess with other people's stuff. I don't want to accidentally put hydrogen in someone's like nuclear waste area or something. But yeah, so we're going to have hydrogen on this side. And to set this one up, all I did was I went through all of the configs of these like this. So all of these, including like the energy one, because we're not going to transfer energy. We just turned them all off. And then the gases one, I just put completely off except the one input side. So quantum entangler porters are really cool. They're like ender chests and ender tanks and ender thingies for gases, infuser types, pigments, slurries, energy, heat. You can even transfer heat over this, which is kind of awesome. The slurries are a bit weird, but yeah, anyway, all of these things, I've turned them off. And I've done the same on this side for the oxygen. So you can see right there, it says oxygen, and that's a private channel for me. So I've got access to oxygen right here and hydrogen on this side. The reason this isn't doing anything is because in the gases section, so the yellow blob right there, the gases, I've turned this to eject off. So all I need to do is hit this. And that is now pumping. There you go, you can see hydrogen. I've got 25 millibuckets, no, 25 buckets. You actually get more hydrogen than you do oxygen because I've got a sink right here with an ultimate pipe piping into the back of this. So yeah, the sink is just putting infinite water into this electrolytic separator. Water is just H2O, right? So that's 2 hydrogen and 1 oxygen molecule. So you're going to get double the hydrogen that you are the oxygen. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to do dump excess. So because these do have like a buffer tank, you can sort of see it's already filling up right there. If the hydrogen fills up and then the internal buffer right here fills all the way up, it means that we'll stop producing oxygen. So we want to keep producing oxygen. It's just, yeah, the way you do that is do dumping excess. And if for some reason we're using way more hydrogen than we are oxygen, I'm going to do dumping excess on the oxygen as well. It's just because if this fills up, this one can't produce. It's kind of it, right? Yeah, so now we've got access using another quantum entangler porter, or two, to the oxygen and hydrogen frequencies. And we can output the oxygen or hydrogen, you know, whichever one we want. It's kind of a neat little setup, in my opinion. I quite like doing it this way. I think I've described it in a previous series as microservice. It's kind of a microservice. It means that we've set this up to do the hydrogen and oxygen, and then we can use that wherever we need hydrogen and oxygen. We can just use like an entangler porter rather than doing one of these setups each time. Okay, why did we set up hydrogen and oxygen? Let's get rid of these two. HDPE, wasn't it? So we need the oxygen for the pressurized reaction chamber. So let's get one of those on the go. There we go, pressurized reaction chamber. I actually need a couple of these, but I'll make the other one later. So we could just stick it on the line again. So just stick it right here. Yeah, I'm going to do that, I think. Oh, I might need something to go in the side of this, though. This need water. Is that what it needs? So to make substrate, for example, hydrogen and so fuel. That makes oxygen. I don't really need to duplicate the substrate. I don't think. I might need to. Bit of a weird one. But anyway, so that is hydrogen, water. So I do need water, which is fine because I can pipe off of this. So I could stick it here. And then if I just get some pipes. There you go. That's now filling up with water on this side. I always forget which one's which with this. So hydrogen, it needs hydrogen on here. So I'm going to get, this is so weird. I know that the entangler port is right there. And we could have just piped straight out of this, but I am going to use an entangler porter just to show off that it can work like that. So if I do that, hydrogen, and then set, and I think, again, I'm going to have to go through and like get rid of all of these. And the nice thing about the entangler porter, I believe, if we do down and then everything else we turn off, we can auto eject. And that is putting that in. Lovely. I need another side of this though. I might have to put a yeah, I need a cable to go right here, which is fine because I can cable off from there. So exporter. Oh wait, what is it that we need for? Okay, so we got this can be any sort of like liquid by the looks of it. Like water is what we're using. Hydrogen and biofuel. Okay, so I mean, we are using melon power over here. Yeah. And we kind of need an output for this as well, and we need to put power into it. So we might need to use the face of this, although if we move it over one, we could have used like this face, if you know what I mean. Ah, okay, right. Let's grab that, do that. There you go. That's all fitted together again. Cable it all up. This side we could put output into an entangler porter for the ethylene. Yes. So we'd have a new entangler porter for ethylene. Right there. So again, I'm just going to go through and clear out all of these. There we go. I'm going to make an ethylene channel. That is public though. There we go. Now it's private, and I put in brackets gas because ethylene can also be in liquid form. And I didn't set the config up for this yet. Oh no, I did. Yep. So that's just going to import from the side. this, again, we kind of need to... Oh my god, there's so many configs that you just need to turn off. So, gas, you're coming in from the top. Water, you're coming in from the back. Gas, you're also going to want to go to the left. So output to the left, which is like this. And then items, which is, I believe we're on items straight away. Yeah, we are. We're going to output you to the right. And we're also going to do auto output. Probably need to do auto output on gases as well. Oh, it's already on. Nice. So now, why are you not connected? Oh, I turned off all of the energy. Whoops. Okay. Energy can go back in the bottom. There we go. So now, modular router is probably going to play a part right here, where I'm going to push items into the top. And we are going to get items out, aren't we? So, output to the side. In fact, it doesn't matter where we put this, because I'm going to use modular router to pull out of this as well. Yeah, I like that plan. Right, let's do the face is an input. So if I look at my backpack, I've got loads of cards. So I use one of these and I use a pull and a push. So that's a push because we're inputting into that. And that's a pull because we're pulling out of that. Modular routers. Just use a couple of blank ones for now. Where do we want to put these? Probably, I'm going to put them right at the back here. I could put them over here. Yeah, sod it. Let's put them over here because then we've got access. One here. And then sender, this is going to send the biomass. And puller, this is going to pull the substrate out and put it into the system. Yeah, I think that's how we're going to have to do it. Although, saying that, we could make the back, because that way we can put another thing right here. So let's use the back as the output for the substrate. And then we'll change this to pull out the back instead. Because it is like sided. Modular routers is sided, which is awesome. And now, I am gonna do, how do I hover in this? That's to change the, is it this button? Hover on. There we go. So now I can put a importer here and an exporter here, exporting biofuel into this, or biomass, whatever you want to call it. I'm so used to using the Space Engineer's controls now. I should probably go change that. There we go. I put hover on X. It just makes sense, doesn't it? To have it on X, because you use it quite a lot. I've not been using hover because I've always hated like where the placement of the key is and turn it off and everything. So putting it on X is actually really useful for me. But anyway, right, we're doing that. Now we need substrate as a import, and we need some biomass, which we're getting right here, to be fair. Biofuel, sorry, not biomass. I could just rip this out and rip this out and rip all of this out, basically. Why don't we just import from here? Yeah, screw it. Why don't we do that? That's a good plan, in my opinion. Right, now that we got that, I don't even need this setup. I could reuse this setup later. Although, to be fair, I don't think you can get any of the stuff out of that. It's fine. What I'll do is I'll just stick the new entangler porter that we've got. I remove that right there. Stick it on the front like that. And then we'll just make the back for the gases. Like that. And that should be getting ethylene. It looks like it is. Did I put all the upgrades in this? Oh, I also kind of need the substrate. Which is fine, because we can actually put an ender chest right there. Almost forgot to put power back into this, because we're not using the gas burners anymore. But it seems to work. Everything seems to be running. And it has all of the upgrades already in it. And we're using a all ready to like set up all of this. Lovely stuff. That's dumping excess. Cool. Right. Anyway, it's good that we set this up at least. The oxygen and hydrogen. And now we are getting ethylene, which is awesome. Okay, I am going to actually bin this. This one's the one that's got, if I hover over it, no inventory. Okay, yeah, I think this is the one that's got stuff in it. Not sure if there's a way of getting that out, but anyway, we need a reaction chamber for making... Okay, we need a few of them, I forgot about that. Where is... So we got the ethylene. What do we use the ethylene in? Okay, we need the ethylene and we need liquid ethylene. Ah, so we need a rotary condensator. Let's do one of those. Or condensator. I always forget how to say that. Let's make one of those real quick. There you go, rotary condensator. We can stick this here. And what is the operation that is needed for liquid ethylene? Let's have a look. Okay, so you put ethylene in and then you get liquid out. Cool. Okay. So I forget which. Okay, this is a hydrogen one. Yeah, we don't want hydrogen. We want this to be on the ethylene. Set that up. We can change the config again to output to the bottom. Let's pick that one back up. And there we go. That is now condensating the ethylene into liquid ethylene. And we can output that to the side. So many flipping configs. And this is liquid now. Oh, I just turned that off. Okay. Needs an input on the top. And then it needs a fluid on the side. Perfect. Yeah, that looks good. So that's going to turn the ethylene into liquid ethylene, and then we need the liquid ethylene and some oxygen. So we need another entangler porter, which I could probably put right here. Turn this into an oxygen one. Set. Again, turn everything off for now. I always turn them off until I'm ready to turn them on, if you know what I mean. So that's going to be a output down. Definitely already on oxygen. Okay, I'm not gonna set it to output yet, and that's gonna go into this. So we're getting the liquid ethylene. If I set this to gases output down, eject on, already getting the oxygen right there. So I need the upgrades for these, so I'm gonna go make those. Okay, so I'm gonna set the config for this. So the items input and output will be on the back. I can do that real quick right now. So input and output back, which is the purple one because it's, well, blue and red, right? Energy, fluids, I think I've set everything else up correctly. We get something out of this, don't we? What is it that we get out? No, we don't. We don't get anything out. That's good. We don't get any gas, I mean. So can kind of turn off gases as well. That's fluid. Gases. Gases, we just need input on the top. Because left is fluid. Like that. Eject. Okay, yeah. So it's just inputting via the top. Items like that. Power everywhere. Perfect. And now I can use these two modular router thingies right here. This one is going to be pulling from there. So that's going to get the HDPE pellets. And this one is going to send. Oh, it's already got a sender upgrade. Brilliant. This one's going to send. Let's clear that one. The substrate over there. Now I have set that up, so obviously the substrate's coming into the system. Substrate, there it is. So I could potentially Yeah, this is a good idea. Right. ME pattern provider. I could do that on there. That is connected as well. So now I can set up a pattern. What is it? It's one substrate turns into one HDPE. So let's just do that then. And we get rid of these two and job done. And fingers crossed that's the only place it can go. I think it can only go into this sender module. And of course we're going to put in speed and stack upgrades right here, because that way they'll be super quick. Lovely. So now we should be able to just request HDPE. HDPE craft just a single one. See what happens. There you go, and we got a HDPE. it went into here, but I didn't put an importer on there. Okay. And there we go. We got the importer on the bottom of this modular router. And we got ourselves some HDPE. And now I will probably do not this recipe, but the enrichment chamber recipe, because you actually need less. That's a point. Let's just do that now. So for the sheet, you just need that. And the enrichment factory is right here, so I can just lob that in here. And now we should be able to craft. There you go. So that'll do its thing over here. I'll send over here. Did it already make the thing? Let's have a look. Why are you not sent? Oh, there we go. There it is. And nope, wrong one. This one. HDPE sheet. Easy enough. Damn it, how long was that? I feel like that was a bit too long of an episode. And all we did was set up HDPE. And I didn't really go over this thing over here. But I did this in like episode 10 or something. So if you are interested in making ethylene, then yeah, go check that out. I think the most important thing for this episode, I was talking about the entangler porters. They're really useful. Really, really useful. It just means that you can use this sort of stuff later on. Right, I think that's where we're going to call it for today. I wanted to get the SPS set up, but there's actually quite a lot involved in setting that up, isn't there? So yeah, we'll try and do that next time. I think we could probably knock it out next time. It's really sped up because we've got access to the wasted radioactive combs. If you want as well, just drop a comment if you want me to go over how to get these, because I can do a little sort of tutorial. I might actually load up my single player world and go through my setup again. So you guys that want to make some wasted radioactive combs and skip all the gubbins that comes with having to set up a fusion or fission reactor, I think it is, then just let me know. But right now I'm going to go talk about the stuff happening on the server. So thank you for watching, thanks for joining, and I will see you in the next one. Bye. Okay, so this is now for all of those people that are on the server or care about what's happening with the server. First things first, we are moving providers from Apex. It's unfortunate because I love Apex. I think Apex are a fantastic company. Not sponsored. I've just got to put that out there, obviously, because yeah, they're not sponsored or anything. I just picked them because they look like a good service back in the day when we set this up. I say back in the day, it was like 3 months ago, but when we set this server up, I was like, oh, Apex seemed pretty good. And they've been amazing. Like, it was a bank holiday over here. And Apex is a UK-based company, I believe. But it was a bank holiday over here, and we had an issue, and they were there to fix it, like, straight away. Their support team is great. So hats off to the support team at Apex. Issue is, they don't have more than, well, they don't offer more than 16 gigs of RAM for a server. And obviously, we've got a massive community now, more than I expected would join, if I'm honest. And that means that this world is ginormous and it needs more RAM, basically. I've been hearing that we don't really need more RAM, but it would be useful to have more RAM. But yeah, that just means we're going to move. So we're going to move to Pebble host. And it's going to be a dedicated server rack. So it's not actually going to be like a Minecraft server itself. It's going to be dedicated for hosting servers. or it's like almost like a VM that you can log into, and it's a server itself. So I'm going to move to Pebble Host, and 128 gigs of RAM, decent processor. It's going to be a power friendly processor. And yeah, we're going to reset the map when we move. So fresh start, blank slate. Everyone's going to like start from nothing again. I know a few of you have got amazing bases, but we're at the point now where, you know, everyone seems to be a little bit burnt out, and I think a fresh start would help with that. So apologies for those people that are still like cracking on with their bases and everything, but I think it's a needed change. I think we definitely need to do it. So that's going to be a thing. That's going to happen. Well, we're going to have an event to finish this server off, the server that we're currently in. We're going to have an event on, oh, hello, either July 3rd or July 2nd. Probably the 2nd, because the 3rd is when the contract runs out on this server. So that means on the 3rd or the 4th, depending on which, you know, how long this server stays up for, we're going to set up a new server, and it's going to be brand new. Everyone will get access that's on the Patreon. You guys are no longer going to be able to chunk load your areas for when you're offline, unfortunately. We're going to have to disable that, I think. That's just a thing that people have suggested. Like, when you're offline, your chunk loads will go offline. It does mean that when you come back online, all your chunk loads will still be there, which is really good, because right now it's super annoying when you go offline for more than 2 days, and yeah, you come back in, you have to re-chunk load everything. In fact, I forgot to do that with my Allthemodium, Unobtainium, and Vibranium, so they're no longer coming in. Another thing is we're going to turn 82 channels on. That's going to annoy a bunch of people as well, because I know a load of people would rather not use 82. If you don't want to use 82, you can use refined storage. We're not disabling refined storage, I don't believe, at least. We're just urging people to use 82 for a server environment, because if you've learned 82, it's actually a really useful mod to learn. If you prefer to use refined storage, I prefer to use refined storage, if I'm honest, because it's super easy compared to 82. But if you prefer to use refined storage, then go ahead. It's just don't be silly with it, and don't, you know, make it really, really laggy. Because that's the whole reason we're pushing people towards... no, that's not it. Where is it? 82. I wanted to... Yeah, there you go. Yeah, we're pushing people towards 82 because it is more server friendly. I think. Now, don't quote me on that again, because that might be fake news, but who knows. I think it's more server friendly. I've been told that it is. So I apologize if that's incorrect. So I know a few people were like, that's wrong. I'm disliking the video because you said something wrong. I didn't mean to say it. Like, I didn't mean to say that this thing was better or worse. It's just, it's what I've been told, so I'm relaying the information. But anyway, yeah, we're going to turn channels on. I'm going to try and learn channels. The reason I turned them off on this server is because I didn't want to learn channels at the time, and now I feel like I should. I've got the basics down of applied energistics now. So yeah, I'm going to try and learn channels, and I know everybody that loves 82 were like, why did you turn channels off? That makes no sense. Channels is also really good for the server itself, because 82 put channels in place on purpose. They did it because it makes it easier for servers to handle it. So that's the thing. Another thing we're going to do is we're actually going to start enforcing rules. So there's been a few people on the server that have been, like, you know, taking the mickey, as it were. And like, we had people that were getting by the anti-AFK that we've got. So if I'm just sat here for 15 minutes not doing anything, it locks me out. But there was a few people that were in their base, sat there not doing anything for a few hours, and they figured out a way of getting past the AFK rule that we've got, which is a bit of a pain, because it's in the pack. Well, we put it in there for a reason. It means that your base gets unloaded, right? And it means that the chunk loads actually mean something. So, bit of a pain. We are going to enforce the rules, and we're going to start doing temporary bans. If it becomes a real issue, we will ban you. And by we, I mean JM3 will ban you because he loves trying to ban people. So he banned me at one point, and I was about to record an episode, and I came on, and I was like, "Oh, I can't record because I'm banned." And he goes, "Oh, sorry," and he came on and unbanned me, which is funny. Anyway, the next thing that is on here is we are gonna try and figure out something for PvP. So the next server, we're going to try and do a PvP thing. I really want to do, you know that reality marble that we did in the stream a while back? Where I used it on Minty, and Minty was like, where the heck am I? Yeah, I would really love it if the reality marble was like PvP enabled. So you could like use the spell on someone and it takes you to that like deserty place. And yeah, when you're in the deserty place, PvP's enabled and you can fight each other. That'd be funny. Well, we're thinking something like that. Either that or we'll have a PvP day every week. So like maybe Sunday. I suggested this on the Discord and I kind of said it's the purge. So every Sunday, like PvP's enabled. I think that's kind of a fun way of doing it. So we'll have to think about that a little bit. And yeah, so we're still coming up with ideas for having some sort of PvP. If that means that you can turn PvP on for yourself and you can't turn it on for others, if you know what I mean. So if there's an option where you could just disable PvP if you don't want to be doing some PvP, then fair enough. I think we'll try and figure some out for that. There might be a mod for it, like a server-side mod. So that'd be kind of cool. But yeah, if you guys have any sort of input on that, please let us know. I'm sure a few of you have got some ideas on what we could do for that. So yeah, just chuck them down in the comments. And lastly, last but not least, when we move to the new provider, we'll have access to have multiple servers up and running. So the other server that we're thinking about putting in place is going to be the Pilpoh pack, which is the pack that the community, the Pilpoh community, has designed itself. The issue is that's not going to be up and running for a little while, so we need a small pack to put in that slot whilst we figure out what to do with the Pilpoh pack. And then when the Pilpoh pack is in sort of like an open beta, we'll put it on the server, everyone has access, and they can all, you guys can all come and play, which would be awesome. So yeah, if you've got any suggestions on what pack we should put on there, as long as we can do it. I know FTB Skies is like a big one. I really wanted to set up an FTB Skies server, but it's not really fit for a server, unfortunately. It's just one of those things. It's not a server sort of thingy, unfortunately. So maybe we do FTB Skies anyway. We just chuck it together and see what happens. But if not, then yeah, give us your best shot with some of the packs that you want to play. I think that's kind of everything I wanted to cover. So the too long didn't read or the too long didn't watch is the ATM server will be restarted on better hardware on the 3rd of July. And get your suggestions in for what pack you want to do for the second server. And lob them in the comments. Yeah. Cool. Right, I'm going to call it there. So thanks for watching, thanks for joining, and I will see you in the next one again. Bye.